Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest narration in the web series Accidentally Adopted. If you're new to the series, there is a playlist listed down below in the description. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Part 3, Chapter 3, The Battle of Recreational Area B. Log 6,000,9.16. Personal, Captain Yormdraw. Sneaky is getting used to speaking in our quarters, maybe. He speaks very softly, which makes sense after his story. Or at least the beginning of it. I regret to say that I am more than a little curious about what happened next. To have lost so much before even he's halfway. Stars. I ache to think about it. It wasn't our course to continue, which was well because he said that he needed to take a few days' respite before continuing. As for me, I had some legal issues to sort out. For instance, Sneaky being a person, but registered as a shipboard pet on the manifest. Or maybe the subpoena that came in once I connected to the planetary interstelnet node. Apparently, I was being called in as a witness at my earliest possible convenience. Trevdy had to completely change her trades and sales to turn around and head back to our last stop. Of course, that government won't reimburse us for the loss. Governments never do. Which meant that I spent my day at the on-station records office. Which means I missed the Battle of Residential Level 4 Recreation Area B. Which is a dreadful name for a park. It was very fun to explain that. Sneaky wasn't doing this himself because his guest right was still in effect, rather than watch my kids have a game of darts against the stationer kids. I hate bureaucracy. Stars, I hope we get to the trial handled quickly. I'll have to talk about it with Sneaky later, since he's a sapient being and a registered castaway under the protection of the Star Sailors. Void take it. These barbarians refuse to recognize the guest right protecting him from dealing with a piece of light-forsaken desolation. Dear Diary, looks like I'm not the only one who needs a little time to process. When I asked Sneaky is okay this morning, he said, today is a fun day. Let the heavy stuff settle and decide what you think when you're centered. I'm not sure what he meant, but it makes sense, I guess. I feel like I'm on a choppy water and like a little skiff, but like in the background. I think Yoy snuck up and listened to Sneaky's story. He was extra huggy with him this morning, but Sneaky didn't mind, except for when he was trying to eat. I don't need a diet, little brother. I'm not fat. It's amazing that he can tell jokes. Anyways, Sneaky had a plan for having fun that involved me helping him post something on the station's message board. It seemed overly aggressive to me, but he said that it was the best way to get more players in the game. Well, it was fun. I got killed before the game was over, but that was okay, because I helped Sneaky get the picnic ready for the other kids. He put a lot of thought into the battle, and the feast at the end. He told a story from his crater world about a place worthy warriors go when they die, called Valhalla, where the warriors practice fighting every day and feast every night in preparation to fight against the end of the world. He probably toned it down for the kids. I know the stories from our ancient past have a lot more killing and monsters in them than he said. I still feel uncertain, but maybe I can get my oars in, anger and compassion, and what happened to a friend I accidentally adopted. A third star. Journal entry 20, date 135, name Greg George. I didn't have any nightmares, not even the vague kind that just leaves behind the feeling of having a bad dream. Maybe my good place wasn't actually good, but just not crap. Anyways, Zeno's Almost Bacon is pretty good, and Lucy helping me post an open challenge to a war or a balm to my soul. We are coming to take residential area for recreational area B. Defend it if you have the guts. The rules of engagement are low V marking foam dart weaponry only. No brand restrictions. 1 mark wounds, which means the player must sit or lay on the ground, but may still fire, and can be saved by a teammate using medkits, which can be damp sponges. 2 marks is dead, which means the player must either lay down and play dead, or leave the field of play to watch with the parents and other spectators. The battle begins at 1300 station time. Fight us if you dare. Any attempts at cheating will result in the cheater being dragged off the field by our proctor by their ear or equivalent. I was the proctor. So we gathered up the picnic that would have a high probability of being safe for any potential players, and gathered up our team. Everybody was eager to play, kids, or watch, parents. I gave the kids a map of the park and told them that I would just be making sure that there was no cheating. They had to come up with their own plan. I want you to win, of course, so do your best. The weird thing is how popular these dark guns are, but there were no organized games. Well, it's not like the concept is new, but they'd fallen out of favor. I know how to fix that. Intentionally wound the entire station's pride. That would get us some players. I need to start training some NCOs. I have about a platoon, and the squads work well, and the older kids end up taking command roles, but they don't know what commands to give to win. Trouble is, they were up against like 3 companies, so they had a hard time of it. Just volume of fire alone inflicted casualties and depleted their damp sponges. But my kids fired from cover, moved for supporting fire, and executed flanking maneuvers, while the enemy children just stood out in the open and shot at anything that wasn't one of them. The one cheater was one of the floofy teddy bear people, and though she stood head and shoulders above me, it was easy to ear drag her to her obviously disappointed father, who didn't speak Blevisies. Pops' brother was there to translate, though. We had an awkward conversation about how I'm an adult, and that's why I'm proctoring and not stomping the stationary kids with my superior training and experience with Pops' brother's help. Being adorable is the bane of my existence. I'm wearing kids' clothes because I'm short, crap for brains. Look at how short I am compared to your low-G Xenos fecking giants. Anyway, my kids won even though they took about 40% casualties, which I guess isn't bad considering their odds. But it occurs to me that I neglected to teach them about chain of command and how to command. They still won. Here's hoping that we can get a league going so that Linus and Lucy can have a shelf full of trophies. We had a feast where I awarded the best soldier from both sides with a little bit of ribbon, and I told the kids about Valhalla. Well, the bits I remember that weren't too fecked up, and I made up some shit to fill the gaps. Today was good. Hell yeah. Dear Loggery, sneaky is okay. Today we did a war against the big team from station. There was a zillion of them, and only our team for us. We won anyway because they stood in the middle of the park and did not take cover. I did not get the ribbon for our side. I'm happy that we won, but I want a ribbon too. End of chapter. I would just like to thank the T5 supporters: Bushmaster 117, Casper Arnholtz, Dragzoon W.R.E, Elijah Silvercross, Gray, Jon Carrington, and Sevaren Serberous. Thank you very much.